Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is an exciting session on youth and how youth is driving change and can drive change and will drive change whether we like it or not. I'm going to begin by requesting Upasana to share some of her thoughts and the other panelists as well on their journey so far. What are the challenges that they see as we talk about a generational change, not just in the government and all aspects of society. Upasana, if you'd like to take the stage and share a few minutes of your thoughts.
Being a young leader puts a lot of pressure on me. Most times I have to lead a team that's much older and more experienced than I am. It's tough. Every morning I have to think of something new, something full of energy, something out of the box to keep the enthusiasm and vibrancy in my organization. I'm definitely not the boring boss. I always put myself in my team's shoes before I expect anything from them. Their thoughts, opinions are a part of my company's strategy. From the office boy to division heads, it's a culmination of great minds that are motivated to create the next wave in how we work. The most fascinating of all was that they hardly had any chairs. Everyone, including their visitors, were made to sit on gym balls. This was so cool. Inspired by Technogym this year, I decided to replace 80% of the chairs in my office with gym balls. I got a bit of resistance, but that's fine. As a bonus, they all got to go home an hour early. This exercise, I know, will result in greater productivity, sharper, more focused minds, as well as a tighter core muscles for my team. People want things to be quick. Their minds are trained to work much faster now. To learn how to make the most of my time at work, I now do my meetings standing. It gets over quickly, nothing is repetitive, nothing drags on, and the team prepares hard before they see me. Soft skills training and corporate appearances can make a dynamic change in an organization. People who feel good and look good for themselves resonate a different level of confidence. From front-end to back-end staff, everyone has to be part of the appearance and presentation change. Would you trust an overweight personal trainer? I wouldn't. Have you heard of the Audley pub in London? My aunt's staring at me now. Well, if you haven't, next time make sure you visit. Bug the place and you'll know what's happening in the Indian economy. Far more information than the Economic Times. Young India can change only if the change is from within. Start with the 100-day plan for your body, and the system will change around you in 5 years. Taking a key from my husband's field, I've almost reached my 7-minute mark. I either have to break into a dance or do an action scene for you or just quietly leave. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Upasana. I think everybody's really worried because we are hoping that you won't insist that the next IMA conference has no chairs. So with that, I'd like to bring in Kunal. Kunal, you've really upset a lot of carts, if I can say, and use that awful pun, over the last few years. Give us a sense of the kind of challenges you faced and what drove you to create this online retail giant that you have.
So thanks for the question, and thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here. You know, we've had a very interesting journey. I personally have had a very interesting journey, which has been full of ups and downs. All the things that we eventually read, which is the good stuff, is only the tip of the iceberg, and the iceberg had many cracks along the way and many wedges, and many things fell off, and oftentimes we felt there will be no iceberg eventually. Whenever we would tell anyone that we wanted to start a company, everyone used to say, "Abhi aap bahut chote ho." And you know, there's always this thing, I guess, that wisdom only comes with age in our country. That's why until recently we only had an 80-year-old prime minister. But they can be competent, but so can be younger people. But I think the real takeaway for me is that Snapdeal's really been built by a bunch of 25-year-olds. We have 2,500 people in our company, and the average age is 25. Average age of the senior team is 32. I'm actually an old guy in our company, which is a challenge when everyone around you, oh yeah, those are the older guys of the company. But it's been a fascinating experience where one of the advantages that we had as a company was we were very focused on building a particular kind of business. While most e-commerce companies in India were essentially merchants with a website or retailers with a website where they were buying and selling inventory, we came in and said that looking at what Alibaba has achieved in China, of really solving a real need by connecting the dots between the long tail of supply and the long tail of demand in the country, that's the same problem we can solve in India and no one's really solving. And I think I'm able to articulate that a lot better than we could when we started. Our business in its current form is only 2.5 years old. And in that 2.5 years, I remember when we first started building this business, our goal was that in 5 years, we'll have 20,000 businesses selling on our platform. And we had no idea how to get there.
What has age got to do with it? Could you do it because you were young or despite you were young?
I think it's a good question, but it's also a very person-specific question. I think some people are better at what they do once they get older because they use the experience they have. For a business like ours, the naivete was actually essential because had we had too much experience, we would have a very fixed way of thinking about things. And then that may have actually made us go down the path that everyone else was treading, which may not necessarily have been the right thing for us.
So that's really about fear. And Ullas, I think that's what brings me to you. Is fear a problem as you grow older? And no comments on both of us.
Fear is always there as long as you're into the business because you don't know which competitor is coming when and what he's launching. And fortunately, we are not in technology business. We are into a hardcore consumer goods business. We sell Ujala, we sell mosquito repellent, we sell toilet soap, we sell detergent powder. And ours is a little different business than what technology business, what Kunal is talking about. Wherein young mind might work very fast, but in our case, it's a seasoned experience, makes a lot of difference.
But you still have to be innovative. You still have to look at young consumers. You still have to use latest technology.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If you want to be competitive, you need to be better, you need to be cheaper, you should be faster, you should be different, and you should be everything. I mean, the competition...
Is that the exclusivity of youth, or can slightly older people manage that?
It's a combination of all, but youth really doesn't matter. Doesn't matter as far as the consumption is concerned, because they always want what they don't have. They always want what they don't have, and what you give, they want to change. So youth really doesn't matter.
Tell me, what kind of change are the young people in your company, including you, bringing to the company?
Oh, they want, like somebody says 14 days whiteness, brightness, or fairness, they want 10 days. Somebody says 10 days, they want in 7 days. Somebody says 7 days, like fairness, they want the next day. That's it.
What is the average age in your company? His company average age is 25.
Yeah, my strength is 90% of our 6,000 employees are women. They are the highly productive people. And my strength is 34 factories which I have. All the 34 are in rural India, not even one in urban India. And most of the places, these days they get the network. Earlier they were not getting the network. Productivity has little come down after getting the network into rural India, for my production is concerned. And that's the strength. And when you have women employees, 90%, believe me, there won't be any labor problems. Once in a while you have labor pains, but no labor problems. That's it.
Thank you.